One.
Plug back in. It's plugged in. To the, so it don't die. Come on.
Yeah.
The phone came off?
No.
Bismillah. And I'm okay, right? الحمد لله رب العالمين أفضل الصلاة وتم التسليم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله نسألك ينفعنا بما علمتنا وعنتنا بما ينفعنا وزدنا علما ويصلح شؤوننا جميعا ولا تكلنا إلى أنفسنا طرفة عين أما بعد. Yesterday we also mentioned, before we get into the pillars of Kufr, which originally we said was the seminar we had in Albany about a month ago. Just a few more points from Iman, which we mentioned yesterday. Yesterday we said that the ta'rif, the meaning of Iman, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he mentioned in the hadith of Bukhari, Muslim, Tirmidhi, when he said, Al-Iman bid'un was sab'un shurba, wa fi riwayatin tis'a wa sittun, wa fi riwayatin arba wa sittun. The Prophet mentioned 70 something, and another wording 69 something, and another wording 64 something. And we said the reason for the different numbers, not because the Prophet is confused, hasha lillah, but to show you that Iman is not on one level, it fluctuates. And that Iman is not on one level, it fluctuates. So in that hadith, the Prophet said, A'laha, the word A'la means the highest. A'laha, qawlun. We said qawlun in Arabic means saying, statements. A'laha, qawlun. Qawlun means statement, pardon, not statements. Qawlun, la ilaha illallah. So the highest level of Iman is the statement, la ilaha illallah. And the ulama, they said, لأجل هذه الكلمة خلق يعني كل شيء. Allah created everything because of that great statement. Everything is created so that it can bear witness that no one has the right to be served, worshipped, feared besides Allah. Trees, mountains, humans, animals in the water, the sun, the moon. Its only creation, its only purpose is to prove that statement, the greatness of it, la ilaha illallah. By submitting willingly or unwillingly, that statement is proven, la ilaha illallah. So the Prophet said, A'laha, the highest branch of the Iman is the statement, la ilaha illallah. Nothing is higher than that. Nothing is mightier than that. That's why, again, even the weak Muslim, who is not as beloved and is better than the strong believer, he still have some love from Allah. He still have some goodness. Why? Because the greatness of the Shahada is involved in that person's chest. Walau kana mithqala dharra, even if it be a small mustard seed worth of Iman. It's that great, that person, if they have to go to the fire, they coming out and go to Jannah. That's great. That's mighty. But we don't understand the Shahada like that. So the Prophet said the highest level of the branches of Iman is that statement. وَأَدَنَاهَا, the least, which is the opposite of highest, the lowest, the least, is amadatul ada an tariq, to move something from the road of people, the pathway of people that would annoy, injure, harm, inconvenience them. So we said, just like a Muslim can do statements and actions that disbelievers do, a disbeliever can do something that's an action or characteristic of a believer. Like, for example, a non-Muslim can move something out of the roadway that's harmful. But does that make them a Muslim?
No.
Does it?
No.
And a Muslim can do something that the disbelievers do a sin, but does that make him a kafir?
No.
That's very important. Very important qaida. Because the next thing we mentioned was how some of the groups view this issue of Iman. We said the Khawarij, from the word kharaja, yani to go out. We said, if you ask me, Aina Zayd, where's Zayd? Or Aina Amr, where's Amr? I say kharaja, he left out. If you say Aina Allah, like the Prophet asked the Jariyah, the servant girl who got smacked by Muawiyah, she said, it's Sama, meaning he's above the heavens. If you're writing folk, or Isharati, and she pointed. And the Prophet said, Man ana, who am I? She said, Anta Rasulullah, you are the Messenger of Allah. He said, Ittaqha fa innaha mu'mina. Free her. She's earned her emancipation. She's a believer. So we understand Aina, you're asking about somebody. So if we say Aina Zayd, and I said Kharaja, he went out. So the Khawarij, Sighatul Mubalagha, it's a word, it's used to show that something is done in totality and it's done on every level, that those people, Khawarij, they make the Muslims a kafir. They make you outside of Islam. This is where they get the name from. Khawarij. Those Khawarij, they believe when it comes to Iman, if you do any major sin, you leave Islam. If you do any major sin, they believe you leave Islam. وَأَنْتَ خَالِدِينَ فِي النَّارِ خُلُودًا لَكَ فِي النَّارِ. And you will burn in the hellfire forever. SubhanAllah, they're from the groups of the Muslims who went astray in the issues of Iman. We said the Qadariyah. Qadariyah, those, when it comes to Qadr, they said Allah does not know the actions of His servant until after they have done it. Because remember, Qadr, and we said yesterday, some ulama said, الفرق بين القدر والقضاء. There's a difference between Qadr and Qadar. ولم يكن لا فرق بينهما. But some of them said there's no difference between the two. Allah said, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُ إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ. Qadar, meaning decided. قدر الله وقدره تقديرا. Allah, He decided and He proportioned. It didn't have the same meaning. Some say when كان قدر بنفسها فهي بمعنى وهو بمعنى قدر وقضاء. Some said if it's by itself, it carries two meanings. Something being ordained and something being carried out. Same thing, they said if qada is by itself, it carries both the meaning of qadr and qada. So they have this back and forth. And what's important, qadr has many meanings. And qada has the same meanings as qadr. We said qadr also it means adab or miqdar, how much, or measurements. Qadr also means qima, your status. Qadr also means quwwa, power. Qadr also means barakallahu fikum, al-fi'lu, doing the action. All of these meanings come from the same qadr. So when you understand that meaning, then it has to be applied to when a person does the action, that Allah knows that action. Because part of qadr is that Allah knows before you do it, He knows when you do it, He knows He knows after you do it, and He knows if you were to do it, what you would do. So for the Qadariyah to say Allah doesn't know the action of His servant until after they do it, Allah knows that. But again, Tawaf al-Munharif, they're from the groups that deviated, and this is part of Iman. It's part of Iman. We said, ماذا جهمية. جهمية. The Jahmiyyah, ماذا بارك الله فيكم They are from the people, again, deviated in the affairs of Imam, Jahmiyyah. And they also went astray in the issues of Imam. The Mu'taziliyah, we said, I'tazala means to remove yourself from a group of people, to separate yourself from a group of people. So we said during the time of Hassan al-Basri, he mentioned if a Muslim does a sin, he's still a Muslim, but he's Muslim asi, he's a sinning Muslim. So some of the people from his group, they disagreed. They said no. So they're not like the Khawarij, who said if you do a major sin, you leave Islam. And they don't agree if you do a sin that you are a Muslim sinner. They said you're not a Muslim if you sin, but you're not a kafir if you sin like the Khawarij. They said that person, Bainam is entertaining. They're in the middle. Not a Muslim, not a kafir. That's the Mu'taziliyah. And they said if you die on that sin, then this is where they agree with the Khawarij, you burn in the fire forever. Mu'taziliyah. Then we have the Murji'iyyun, those who say that statements are considered iman. كذلك اترفوا بالله يعتبر إيمانا, and being aware, acknowledging Allah, that's considered iman. And they say belief in the heart is iman, but they don't believe actions are from iman. They don't believe actions are from iman. That is the Murji'iyyun. Then we said also, Allah Musta'an, the Ibahiyya. They're almost like the Khawarij. Now, deemed to be a kafir. We mentioned the Qaramiyya. Those people, they are the people who made the issue of the birthday of the Prophet, the Fatimiyya. These people. We mentioned all of these groups, Allah Musta'an, the Maturidiyya, Sufiya. We mentioned all of these different groups. They erred on the side of Iman. So it's very important when we talk about this issue of Iman to not fall into that, but to understand where this came from. And Shaykh Islam Taymiyyah, he said all of the groups of deviation were either started by a Jew or a Christian. All of the Tawa'if al-Munharifah, they were started by someone who was Jew and Christian, and they accepted Islam, they infiltrated. Very important to understand where we are today with all of this. So these people either have a nickname that relates to who founded the belief or action that they do. But the people of Ahlul Sunnah, true Ahlul Sunnah, we're called Ahlul Sunnah because we're the people that hold to the Sunnah of the Prophet, hold to the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Sunnah of His Prophet. So these, we mentioned yesterday, along the side of Iman. We also mentioned the two conditions for these to be accepted. We said al-ikhlas wa ittiba'. Al-ikhlas, that you do it, ibtigha' li wajhillah. You're doing it to be rewarded by Allah. And you're doing it, bi-imtithal an-Nabi sallam, the way that the Prophet sallam did it. But again, when we talk about this issue, there's being like the Prophet as a prophet, being like the Prophet as an Arab, being like the Prophet in custom. For example, to eat without a utensil. That's the way of the Prophet, but that's the way of the Arabs of old. Then eat with spoons and forks. So if you do that, you follow the Prophet. But if you don't do it, there's no sin on you in that regard. Wearing the khamis, or the rida, the cloak, or the izam. This is following the Prophet. But if you don't wear that, it's no sin on you. Likewise, when we talk about imitating the Kufr, all of them used to wear this kind of clothing during the time of the Prophet. the mushrikun, the Muslims, the munafiqeen. So when you talk about imitating them, if it's something that's it's general, then many scholars said that, then it can't be considered imitating them. If it's from our deen, or it's from their culture and it's general. But if it's makhsus, it's particular, then it's said, this is imitating them, or if it's something that goes against our aqidah, or our worship, then that's what's considered imitating them. So we mentioned these things yesterday, the two conditions for these to be accepted. Again, the ikhlas. You're doing it not to be seen, not to show off, not to be, praised. But we said from the human being side, a person likes to be praised. A person likes to be, pat on the back. Nobody likes to be talked down or despaired. But for you to do the action with the intent to get that, seeking that, that's wrong. You don't do the action to seek it, to get it. But if you do it and someone says, mashallah, they give you a compliment, say, mashallah, jazakumullah khairan, you did well. Then mashallah, la ba'as, this is salam, no problem. But when you expect it, or when you don't get it, you feel bad, why didn't pray, why didn't say that? Then this is when you talk about the issue. It needs to be checked. So we talked about that yesterday. Now, I don't have the kept him in an tape. So the issue of pillars of kufr. What is kufr? From the floor. وكم أقسامها, and how many types? What is kufr and how many types? Now this song. Kufr.
Two types.
Two types, mashallah. Somebody said two types. Is he right or wrong? Going once, going twice, going once, going twice. Is he right or wrong?
Right.
Somebody said right.
Right.
Somebody said wrong?
No.
Okay, right. Tay, what are the types? Come on now, let's go.
Disbelief.
Disbelief, but what are the types?
Kufr of action. There's kufr of the heart.
Kufr asli.
Allah. What are the types? In general. Same thing we did with shirk.
Major and minor.
Aywa, mashallah. You never jump to the different aspects or types without talking about the generality first. Okay. If you say kufr of belief, kufr statement. But kufr of belief could be major, minor. Okay. Kufr statement could be major, minor. Okay. So you always deal with the generality first. Okay. Kabir, kufr akbar or kabir, and kufr saghir or asghar. So the kufr kabir or akbar is just like shirk. It takes your Islam away, number one. You lose all of your deeds, number two. You should make tawbah apart from it before you die. And if you die on it, hellfire forever. It's just like shirk and akbar. Again, kufr akbar takes all your sins away. Takes your Islam away, That was slip of the tongue. Takes your Islam away. Number two, you lose all of your deeds. Kufr akbar. Number three, if you don't make tawbah from it, you don't leave it change, and you die upon it, and the hellfire forever. Kufr asghar. It's a major sin, but it's minor as it relates to kufr. And if you do it, you still remain a Muslim. It doesn't take your Islam away. Number two, it doesn't take your deeds away. And number three, if you die upon minor kufr, you don't burn in the hellfire forever. But it's a major sin. Just like the issue of shirk. Tell you. So, give me an example of major kufr. Remember the three things. We mentioned these principles so it can help you to pick out, to identify. This kufr must take away your Islam. This kufr must nullify all deeds of good. And this kufr, if you die upon it, you burn forever. Give me an example of major kufr. An example of what is major kufr.
Praying to something other than Allah.
MashaAllah, tabarak wa ta'ala. That praying to something that's other than Allah. Major kufr. If you say munafiqeen, no, those are people. We want what is major kufr. Major kufr, Jesus, help me. That's an example of major kufr. If you make dua to Ali Bamba, Ya Ali Bamba, major kufr. If you make dua to Shaitan, Satan, Iblis, major kufr. If you make dua to any Malik, and then Malaika, any angel, any prophet, you say, Ya Nabi Allah, O Prophet, Ishfini, heal me, major kufr. Dua li ayyi shay, dun Allah, dua, ghayr Allah, praying, asking anyone in the way of supplication, major kufr. Those are your deeds. It took your Islam. You die upon it. That's it. The fire forever. Another example, major kufr. Somebody. Anybody.
Sacrificing for other than Allah.
Sacrificing for other than Allah. So you give $5 to somebody because they need gas, and you're doing it to be a good person. That's sacrifice for other than Allah?
No.
What do you mean sacrifice?
Killing the animal.
Okay, mashallah, mashallah. Slaughter an animal for other than Allah. So I go slaughter some chickens for my family, or go and put it in the freezer. That's shirk? That's kufr.
No.
What do you mean?
With the intention of doing it for other than Allah. For some person, some family member or something like that.
So if I go slaughter a lamb for my family, that's kufr akbar?
No.
For us to eat?
To take a life.
Other than Allah.
He says slaughtered in the name of other than Allah.
Correct.
MashaAllah, that's one example. Bismi Isa, or Bismi Lat, Uzza. Yani in the name of, meaning in order that that thing bless you or protect you or to be rewarded from that thing because of the slaughter. So when you say slaughter for other than Allah, that's too general, because you can slaughter for walima, you can slaughter for arusa when you get married. That's no, it's slaughter in the way of ibadah. You want to slaughter so you can be rewarded as a religious ritual. Or you want to slaughter so that you can be blessed. You want to slaughter so that something can be protected from evil. When you slaughter for the children, it's for them to be protected from evil. When you slaughter for the marriage, walima, it's the marriage to be protected from evil. It's also min bab shukr, to show gratification. So this is ibadah. Give me another example, major kufr. So we said praying to other than Allah, major kufr. Leave your Islam, take your deeds away, you die on it, you burn in hell. Slaughtering an animal for reward or protection, or in the name of any deity other than Allah, major kufr. Give me another one.
Going to somebody who believes in horoscope.
Oh, this guy must be from the islands. Going to somebody who believes in the horoscope and the June.
And believe in what they tell you the next coming year you're gonna have this.
Okay. So somebody said going to Arfin with Kahan, going to the soothsayers. They say they know the unseen, the future. Going to the people who they depend on the stars to bring blessings or to push evil away, the zodiac people. Going to the tarot card reader, going to the crystal ball reader, going to any of those people, the people of magic. Now, we're not talking about people at the circus jumping through hoops and lions and, fire. That's a type of word that they say magic. But here when we say magic, you sold your soul to the devil. You sold your soul to the demons. You gave up your religion and you at service for those jinn. That's the magic that's kufr. Takes your Islam. Many Muslims do it around the world. I want that lady. I'm in love with her. But somebody else is going to marry her. So I put something on that lady to make her love me. I love that lady. I want to marry her. She doesn't want to marry me. So I put something on the man that she's married to so that they can't get along. And then he leaves her and I can have. This is kufr. Takes your Islam. Nullifies all your deeds. If you die upon it, you burn in the hell forever. Major kufr. Also, to deem those whom Allah said they are disbelievers, to deem them not to be disbelievers. It's kufr. If Allah mentioned that the Christians, while they have a book, they're kafaru, they disbelieve. If Allah mentioned, while they have a book, the Yahud, the Jew, they are kuffar. If Allah mentioned the mulhadeen, yani those who ilhad, yani those people, kuffar, anybody Allah mentions kafir, you say, no, they're not kafir, they're believers, that's major kufr. Because you're rejecting that which Allah Ta'ala mentioned in His book about those disbelievers. Also, making game and fun and joke and ridicule of Allah, any portion of the Quran and His messenger, kufr. Making fun of anything that's clearly from the ayat of Quran, or making fun about Allah, or making fun about anything from His messenger, kufr. Major kufr. Major kufr. So these are some examples of major kufr. What also is considered major kufr, denying something that Allah has made halal or something that Allah has made haram. If Allah legislates something, says it's halal, like salah, I don't believe we have to pray. And you're conscious that you must pray. You're not insane, you're not possessed by a jinn, you understand well, but you feel in this day and time, as long as you're just spiritual, you're okay. This is a major kufr. If Allah Azza wa Jalla said women should cover a certain way, they should cover the whole body, they shouldn't just put something on their head. You say, oh no, that's Arab culture, I don't believe you have to. See, but there's a clear eye, yeah, but my belief is as long as you put some on your major kufr. Major kufr. Major kufr. Now, I'm not trying to get the brothers in trouble. And the sisters are going to, maybe say, yeah, But when we talk about adad zawaj, more than one wife, every woman wants their husband to themselves. That's natural. They have a ghayra. Some people call it ghayra, like an aslu bi fatha ghayra. They have a jealousy. They don't want nobody on their turf. But Allah Azza wa Jalla mentioned in the Quran, Mathna wa thulatha wa ruba', 2, 3, 4. Some scholars said that aslu fi zawaj is named, because Allah started with 2. ومنهم يقولون لا الأصل واحد. There's a difference of opinion. If you should marry 1 automatically or 2 in the beginning. But the point is here is from the religion. Now some brothers will say it's my right. It's not your right. You're bugging. Some brothers will say I can have a wife and he can't take care of the first wife. Some brothers will say I need another wife because my first wife don't please me. But he's not pleasing that first wife. You have all of these games people play. But no one should say, I don't believe in this day and time that a man should practice that. If a man says that, I've heard some men say that. I don't believe a man should practice in this day and time. 1 is sufficient. We're in the modern age. Some women have that belief. Things are expensive, the life is difficult. True that. But to say, I don't believe that that should be practiced there, kufr. Major kufr. Why? Because Allah legislated it. You can't take it away. You can't hate it, despise it. You can have a problem with it because, you don't like it as a woman. But even that, I asked one of my shuyukh in Egypt about that. He said, kufr. For a lady not to like it, and that's her nature, the Shaikh still said, cut and dry is kufr. So anything that Allah made, legislated that you don't like, kufr. Allah legislated for the man to be the leader. Lady said, well, I don't need no man to lead me. I got a master's degree. I got my own money. Hell no, he ain't leading me. He can lay down with me, but he ain't leading me. Kufr. The man, Allah commanded him to educate his family, spend on his family, take care of the family, Somebody might say, well, we in America, we doing 50-50. I ain't with that. Kufr. Now, you could say it's difficult, we working together, but you say, I don't believe in that, we in America? No. Because Allah legislated, that's the role of the man. The lady should obey the husband, and what he commands is ma'roof, that's halal. I don't believe in that, I ain't his damn slave. Kufr. Kufr. Allah. Clear kufr. So these things we have to be very careful about. Very careful. Very careful.
Sure.
Now,
In this dangerous time that we're in around,
is this a question or a book report?
is a question
Okay, hold it. Inshallah. Hold it.
in terms of kufr.
Hold it. Hold it. Just write it down and hold it. Say it. When we talk about minor kufr, major kufr, there's many. We mentioned some of them. Again, praying to other than Allah, sacrificing, slaughtering an animal to be protected or to be blessed from some evil or some good, major kufr. To deal with, we say, black magic, white magic, roots, voodoo, major kufr. To pray to any dead person, saint, prophet, angel, major kufr. To deny anything that Allah legislated or to believe that it's played out, major kufr. Something Allah made halal, you don't believe it's halal, and you're saying you're not crazy. Something Allah made haram, you don't believe it's haram, you're not saying it's crazy, major kufr. Many types of major kufr. Minor kufr. Minor kufr is normally something that's a sin. Prophet used the word kufr to show the mashayk, something that's bad, but it's a great evil involved. So sometimes kufr yutlaq ala ma'asiyah, or yutlaq ala shay min khaslat al-kufar. Sometimes it's general to mean just a sin, but a great sin. And then other times kufr is meant to use that a person is doing a characteristic of the disbelievers. So minor kufr, for example, kufra akhuwa, being ungrateful for the brotherhood. That's a minor act of kufr. Being ungrateful for the brotherhood, meaning we despise one another, we fight and we're arguing, we have fake brother and sisterhood. That's not gratitude for brotherhood. So kufr here means ungratefulness. You have kufr ni'mah. Allah is giving you something that has a lot of blessing and benefit, but you abuse it. You're not grateful for what Allah gave you as a ni'mah. Ni'mah meaning it has a lot of benefit, a lot of good, and it has a lot of special things. You're not grateful for that. Kufr ashir. The woman is not grateful for the husband. Now, some scholars said that although the Prophet mentioned this, it can also show and be used, kufr ashir, it can include a man is not grateful for his wife. But we normally don't hear it like that. We normally hear from the side of the woman, because the Prophet said that man, he does good by that lady his whole life. Then he falls short one time, and she said, he never did anything for me. So that's why we use that example, because the Prophet mentioned that, and that is because most of the time it comes from the side of the woman. But it doesn't it doesn't negate that a man can have a good wife, and he's not grateful for it. It's kufr. A good wife, she prays, she fasts, Allah musta'an, but he wants somebody that's trash, who's in the club. He wants somebody who's trash, who doesn't pray. He wants somebody who's trash, who doesn't cover. That's kufr for him. He's ungrateful. So be aware of that. Also, you have, when we talk about kufr, from the minor kufr, also the issue, as the brother said, i'tiqadi, meaning of belief. But it could be minor or major. Like, for example, you believe when you sit and read Quran, it's legislated that you rock back and forth. That's a belief. But that's minor. But if you believe in your belief that the people, based upon their lineage, they should be in paradise, and the people who don't have a lineage shouldn't be in paradise, then that's i'tiqad. That's something you believe, but that's major kufr. Like the Rafidi. They believe anybody related to the Prophet should be in Jannah. So they put Abi Talib in Jannah, they put Abi Lahab in Jannah, but they put Abu Bakr Siddiq in the hellfire. They put Umar ibn al-Khattab in the hellfire. They put Uthman in the hellfire. Why? Because they're not related to the Prophet. Only the relatives of the Prophet should be in Jannah. This is i'tiqadi. This is the kufr of belief. So kufr of belief can be minor or major. You also have kufr lafzi, kufr of statement. One of the statements of kufr, meaning, again, it's a minor sin to say Allahu Akbar, to make elongation on Allah's name when you say Allahu Akbar. And people do that because it sounds good in the adhan. It says Allahu Akbar. That is a question mark. In Arabic, it's called alif istifham. So if you elongate Allah's name, Allahu Akbar, you're saying, is Allah Akbar? That's kufr. Of course it's Akbar. So that's called kufr lafzi. It's a statement of kufr, but it's something that you say that becomes kufr. And this is major, by the way. Major. You also have other examples of minor and major kufr, but these are some examples, and you can further do research. You can find this all the books of ulama that talk about the issue of kufr, and that issue is similar to shirk. The major kufr takes your Islam away and nullifies your deeds. If you die upon it, you're in the fire forever. Minor kufr is a major sin, but it's minor as it relates to kufr itself. It doesn't take your Islam away. It doesn't nullify your deeds, and it should be made repentance from, just like major kufr. And kufr normally means some type of sin. It also means to cover something. It also means to be ungrateful, and we gave the different examples of kufr. When we did the seminar in Albany, we said the pillars of kufr. Pillars of kufr. Pillars of kufr, Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah, he mentioned there four. Four. First one, he said at Kibru. Kibru. Kibru in Arabic, the Prophet said, Batar al-Haq, to reject the truth. So anytime the truth comes to you, you fight with it, you don't accept it, you reject it, that's kibr. That's from the pillars of kufr. The first thing, kibr, to reject the truth. Well, قَمْتَ النَّاسِ, the Prophet said. قَمْتَ النَّاسِ, يعني, إِفْتِخَارَ لَهُمْ. You belittle them. You look down on them. And part of looking down on people is that you magnify their wrong while you make your wrong insignificant. People have a value. When you treat them less than the value that they are, not only you look down upon them, they're animals, they're barbaric, you make their wrong so magnified, like what we're dealing with now, Philistine, but your wrong, insignificant. This is kibr. Or you're greater than somebody because who you are and what you have, and they're nothing because of what they don't have. All of this is what they call in English, which is a bad translation, arrogance, pride. Kibr in Arabic is the word, haughty, pride, arrogance. Sometimes people misconstrue confidence and surety with kibr, arrogance. Like if you know you believe something properly, or you have something and you stand up, people say, he's arrogant, she's arrogant. No, confidence and being sure is not arrogance. Kibr, no. Look, you say, you ignorant, I know you don't know, now, yeah, this is kibr. But just to be confident, to be sure about something, is not kibr, it's not arrogance. So that's the first pillar of kufr. Kibr. In Arabic, to reject the truth, to belittle others, to magnify their bad, and to make your bad insignificant, to make yourself raised above them because who you are or what you have. Like Iblis. He said, "Ana khayru minhu." I'm better than him, Adam. خلقتني من نار. You created me, Allah, from fire. وَخَلَقَتَهُ مِنْ طِينٍ. And you created him from dirt. So because of my creation, I'm better than him. Because of what he don't have, he's less than me. I can destroy stuff. Fire. I'm made from fire. I can do this and that. He's dirt, piece of crap. And the scholar said, look how much stuff you get out of dirt. Look at the wisdom of Allah. You get your food. You get your nutrients. I mean, you have different things. Dirt is in. You know, we talk about different things that you build. And also when we talk about dirt, you say from the earth. So you have to say nates, rubble, sand, you know, all of these things inclusive in the term, clean the dirt, clay, mud, dirt, soil. Which one you get the most benefit of? Fire or the stuff from the earth? The earth. Look what came from that earth. And the hour Mursaleen, prophets and messengers. You know, prophet and messenger came from fire. Only the jinn. So while he thought when he was made from Iblis, Satan, Shaitan, made him better, he put Adam down. So to put somebody down because what you have, who you are, that's an example of kufr. The second pillar of kufr is hasad. Hasad. Now, hasad has 3 layers. The first one that the Prophet mentioned is that a person sees something that someone else has. And you want that thing that that person has. So like a person has a nice picture, so, oh wow, I want me some of them. That's considered hasad. If you just like them because you like them, that's one thing. But you weren't thinking about it. You didn't say it until you seen somebody else with it. Oh, that's a nice coat. I want me one like that. That's considered hasad. But if you believe and feel that you want that thing and that that person shouldn't have it, say, man, I want that. Meaning you wish it can come from that person automatically and you have it. The person has a nice car. You say, wow, I want that car. Meaning if that person he lost it, you will be happy. And if you got it, you will be, if they lost it, you will be happy. And if you got it, you'll be happier. That's hasad. You want it to be taken from somebody and given to you. So the Prophet allowed you to see somebody with something and want it because of the greatness of that thing. Those 2 things, knowledge that the person has and he practiced that knowledge. Knowledge that the person has and she practiced that knowledge, meaning of the deen. And wealth that person has, they spend it the way it should be spent. On their obligations, they help the poor, they do good things with the money, not bad things. Because of those 2 great things that can land you in the paradise, the Prophet allowed us, if you see somebody with knowledge, we wish you have it too. But so you can wish you have it also to do with it without that person losing it. You wish that person who has money that you were like that person so you can do the things they're doing with that money to get to Jannah without them being poor and you're rich. So the norm of hasad, you wish somebody who has something that it be taken from them and you have it. So you have the exception to the rule with Islamic knowledge, this sought, obtained, practiced, and with money is sought in a halal way and is spent in all the ways Allah loves. You are allowed to say, I wish I had that knowledge so I can be like that. I wish I had that money so I can be like that. To encourage you for those great things. But in general, someone has something and you wish you had it because you see it. You wish you had it even if it meant that they lost it and it came to you. That's blameworthy. And then the last one, the scholars say this is the worst one. Somebody has something, you want them to lose it, but you don't want it yourself. You want somebody to lose it, is you say, He's hating on me. He don't want me to have this, but they don't want you to lose so they can have it. They just don't want it, and they don't want you to have it either. They say that's the worst type of envy. So that's the second pillar of kufr. The third one is ghadab, anger. Ghadab, anger. So act out of anger. Not to become angry. And we mentioned before, Hadith of Prophet where he said, La talk about. This statement, talk about, they translate, don't become angry. But this, in my humble estimation of my knowledge, is not the best translation. Because taqlab Allah wasn't taf'al means not to do something. So here, the thing is anger. Don't act out of anger. And we know the Prophet mentioned this. If you're angry, let it takallam, wa la tatahawwar. If you're angry, don't move around. Stay still. Because when you're angry, moving around, you want to put your hands on somebody, grab them. So the Prophet said, stay still. If you're angry, stay silent. Because when you're angry, you want to lash out, say something you may regret. So that a small hadith where the Prophet said, La taqlab, it really means don't act out of anger. Or if you become angry, cut the anger off. So that is the third pillar of kufr. To act out of anger. And the last pillar of kufr that Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyya mentioned, the pillar of disbelief is shahwa. To do what you like to do and you know that that thing is wrong. To do something that's sinful regardless of the consequence. To disobey Allah and you blatantly, clearly know that it's disobedience. Those are the four pillars of disbelief. In the Qayyim al-Jawziyya, he said, وَلَوْ زوال جبال على العبد في أكملها بأكملها عيس على العبد أن عيس على العبد من زوال هذه أربع إذا ابتلي بها. He said if a mountain was to fall on the person, now imagine you're walking, mountains all around you, and you see that mountain sliding or crumbling, and it's like, maybe 100, 200 feet in the air. That mountain fell on you, what do you think would happen?
You're going to die.
You're going to die. Somebody else.
And to crush you.
It'll crush you. Ooh, may Allah protect us. I mean, mountain fall on you. You're looking at it as it's coming down. You're afraid or you're not afraid?
Afraid.
Terrified. Running, screaming, trying to get out of the way before it hits the ground. Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyya, he said, that mountain falling on you is better for you, easier for you, than these four things of disbelief falling on a person when they're being tested. Because if the mountain falls on you and you don't have kibr, arrogance, you don't have hasad, envy, you don't have acting out of anger, brother, and you don't have disobeying Allah, guess what? As a believer, you're going to Jannah. Your fate is sealed. But if you have, that mountain not falling on you, but you have kibr, arrogance, rejecting the truth, looking down on others, making their sins magnified, yours, so insignificant, wanting what somebody has, that it be taken from them and given to you, acting out of anger, and just doing whatever you want, no matter what the consequence is of sin, you're destroyed. You're destroyed. As a non-Muslim or a Muslim, you're destroyed. It's over. So that's why the Shaikh, he mentioned that. And he mentioned what happens to a person if he gets those four. He said the first one, the kibr, if a person is tested with that, it would keep that person get this straight. 1, 2, 3, 4. He said that the kibru يمنعك عن قبول الحق والانقياد له. يمنعك نعم عن يعني قبول الحق نعم والانقياد له. Kibr, one of the harms of it, and we said kibr here is the arrogancy, rejecting the truth, pushing away the truth, not accepting it, and belittling, looking down on others, defaming others, to make yourself big and make them small, making their sins so great in your eyes and your sins like a fly on your nose. So they said the seller used to sing, used to look at their sins like a mountain falling on them, will be destroyed. And the monastic of the Kafir looks at their sins like a fly on the nose. Oh, just swat it. And it's gone. It's in there. So the first pillar of disbelief, rejecting truth, looking down on others, kibr, arrogancy, it prevents you from accepting the truth, and it prevents you from submitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And look at Iblis. Look what it got him. Allah musta'an. So the second one, hasad. And I thought this was like, I said, wow, this is why ulama or scholars and whatnot. Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah, he said, the envy يمنعك عن يعني قبول النصيحة. Envy will prevent you from taking advice. Now understand this. If someone has something and I have won it from him, he has reputation, position, I want it from him. What are some of the things I need to do to get that position or reputation from him?
Lie.
MashaAllah, barakallahu feek. How? Lie how?
About the person.
About the person, mashallah. Lie about the person. If someone has something, position or status, and I want it from him, what are some of the things I need to do to get it from him? He said lie about the person. Somebody else.
Backbite.
Put on your thinking caps, backbite. Talk about him behind his back. Demote him. Degrade him. Somebody else.
Tricked them. Cheating.
Huh?
Cheating.
Cheating? Cave. How? What do you mean?
I think he said kill him.
Oh, kill?
No,
Oh.
not
Kill him, then you're going to have his position, but you're going to have some blood in your hand too. They might come kill you or put you in jail. So, no, we didn't say that.
to. I said cheating.
Where's you? Mother put, what'd you say?
Cheating. I said cheating.
Cheating. يعني تلبيس أيوة هو ليس بشيء وأنا نعم طيب to deceive يلبس على الناس ما عنده شيء يعني عنده أخطاء يعني هو ليس بثابت. He has mistakes. He's not strong. He's not grounded. أنا, as far as me, oh, عندي أنا I have this, yeah. In the eyes of people, يعيون الناس. Another thing, the Shaikh, he said, يعني يمنعك عن قبول النصيحة. If someone comes to you and tell you, أخي اتق الله, he peeps your game. He see what you're doing. He advise you. So you need to fear Allah. Don't do that. You can't take that advice, the Shaikh says. Now, we don't normally look at that when it comes to envy. We look at that normally when it comes to the first one, kibr. But the Shaikh said, يمنعك عن قبول النصيحة. It will prevent you from taking the correction, the advice. That's heavy, ain't it? When you think about it. When you think about it. The one who wants something from somebody and he's bugging and tripping, he's not listening to nobody. You can advise him till you blue in the face. How many times we seen that? Can you testify that happened, somebody, or some occasion that happened? Yes or no?
Yes.
You're not going to take no advice. Why? Because he's stuck on, I got to get this thing, I got to get this image, I got to bring him down, I need to have this instead of him. Yeah. So this shows you how Allah blessed the ulama, in this case, Shaykh Islam Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah. The ghadab, that acting out of anger. He said, يَمْنَعْكَ عَنَ التَّوَاضُعِ. It keeps you from humbling yourself. It keeps you from humbling yourself. Ukkasha, and fear in Allah when you're angry. Remember how many times you've heard a person who tell them, fear Allah. They say, you fear Allah. Or you say, Akhi, Allah and this message. They say, I don't give a damn about Allah and this message.
Wow.
That person is on the moon. They're not on earth. They can't be humble and say, you're right, they can't stop in their tracks, sit down, calm down. Why? That anger blinds them from that fact. It keeps them from being humble, realizing they're nothing as it relates to Allah, and they can't be affected by the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That anger does that. How many people killed somebody and then it was over, they calmed down, they regretted that. Wow, they couldn't believe they killed that person in a fit of rage. The man killed how many in the hadith famous?
99.
Yeah. Can you imagine? To kill one person unless you're a cold-blooded killer is difficult. 99? What do we take from that story? The anger blinded him. Just killing, the rage. So the anger prevents you from humbling yourself and being affected by the mention of Allah. And they said the shahwa, the last one, yamnaka and yamnaka and that the following of desires, it prevents you from blossoming in obeying Allah and doing the good things. The sins won't allow you to blossom. It won't allow you to, spread your wings or to, just, become a person who's engrossed in the obedience to Allah. The sins won't allow you. And that's why, we deal with the class on Sunday, da'wah with dua, the sickness and the cures, because the sin, that's the thing that Allah most time. Once you become a person who's comfortable with disobeying, and the ulama, even the Qayyim al-Jawziyya in the da'wah with dua, when he talked about uqubat, the punishment of sins. One of them, he said, is that the person normally starts off thinking that sin is great. Most people who are believers, Muslim, who know that's a major sin, they're afraid of that sin in the beginning. But once they fall into it, then they do what, a second, a third, a fourth, the fifth, complacency sets in. Now, once that person is immune to the sin, Allah musta'an, they can't stop. It won't, the disobedience won't allow them to turn to Allah, engross themselves in obedience to Allah. And so this is one of the ill effects of sins, that when you sin, it won't allow you to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah said, وَلَمَّا نَسُوا اللَّهَ نَسِيَهُمْ. And here we said before, it doesn't mean the literal nasi Allah, Allah forgot them. Because if you say nasi Allah, that means Allah fihi naqs. How can Allah forget something? When they forgot Allah, He forgot them. That's what the ayat actually reads, but it don't mean that. Well, the Mahdi said, because if Allah forgot something, then that means naqs. This is the act of subhana, that Allah is free from human defects. So nasiyahum, Allah forgot them, He tarakahum. Allah abandoned them. Not He forgot them, He abandoned them. He knows them, He remembers them, He hears them, but He turned away from them. He abandoned them. He won't answer them because they turned away from Allah. Now, as if He forgot them, but He didn't forget them. He turned away. So these are from the pillars of disbelief. We said again, kibr, arrogance, rejecting the truth, looking down on people, making their sins insignificant. Making their sins significant or yours insignificant. The envy, wanting something that someone else has. From the worst of them is the want from the worst of them is you don't want them to have it and you don't want it either. The exception to the rule, if it's Islamic knowledge is practiced and money is earned in a halal way and spent in the way that will earn you Jannah, then you are able to want that without wanting that person to lose it because of the virtue, acting on anger, doing and saying while angry, and the issue of following desires, disobeying Allah. These are from the pillars of Kufr, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us from all of the pillars of Kufr. So somebody run back the 4 pillars of Kufr. And nobody can eat unless they do it. Everybody's going to do it now. Walk down.
Yes, Shaikh.
Yeah.
Kibber.
Kibber, mashallah. Well, now who a kibber? What's kibber?
Kibber is to put down another person.
Mashallah.
You know, better than him, and magnifying his mistakes and faults, and making yours insignificant.
MashaAllah. And you rejected what? The kibr.
Truth.
Barakallahu feek. Rahim jiddan, to reject the truth. Allah protect us from kibr. Ameen. Say it. Somebody else. Don't take off for it.
Hasad.
Hasad. MashaAllah. Ma huwa hasad. What is hasad?
Hasad is
No. He's answering.
Yeah, it's wanting what someone has. Is wanting what someone has, and not. In other words, wanting something to be taken away from somebody, given to you.
MashaAllah. Zakallah khair. To want what somebody has, that it be taken away from them and give it to you. A side point. Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah in another work, besides what we're dealing with now, called al-Fawaid, he mentioned that the issue of envy يتضمن في the issue of envy يعني قد يوصل إلى الشرك. When you envy somebody, it can also fall in the category of shirk. How can somebody having something, I wish they lose it and I have it enter into shirk? He said, because when you decide that, it's as if you decided who should have or who shouldn't have, which it enters into the decree of Allah. Don't think of it like that. One brother, wallahi al-azim, I remember, he had 2 wives. Another brother had 2 wives. This brother married a 3rd wife, and they were like, MashaAllah, Barakallah, Barakah alayk, Jama bainakum fi khayr, may Allah bless you, MashaAllah, hugging them. When he left with his 3rd wife, the one brother said, dang, man, how the hell did he get a 3rd wife? I can't even get that. I look better than him. I make more money than him. I should have had a 3rd wife. How did he get that? Look at this. I would have been never shit on him. So, in saying that, it's as if you entered into the decree of Allah. Who he gives, who he don't give, who should have. So that's why Shaykh Islam Taymiyyah and Ibn Qayyim Jawziyah says that envy enters into, it could enter into shirk, because by wanting something that somebody else have and deeming they shouldn't have it, you should have it, you have made yourself a sharer in the tashri'h, the one who decides who gets and who doesn't, who is that? Allah Azza wa Jalla. So be careful. Be careful. Hasad, be careful. Say it. That's the second one, envy. What's the 3rd one? Somebody who didn't answer. What's the 3rd one?
Ungratefulness.
La. A father.
Fitra.
We mentioned 4. Name all 4. What's the first one? Kibr. What's the second one?
Hasad.
Athana. Other. Anger. Acting out of anger. And 4.
Shahwa.
Other. So, if you say something to me, you say, man, shut up, man, you stupid fool. I said, man, who are you talking to? That's mother. So am I wrong? If I raise my voice at somebody because they insult me, is that wrong?
No.
Is that what the prophet's talking about?
No.
But if I punch him in his face,
That's wrong.
that's wrong, because I acted out of anger.
Yeah.
Even my yelling at him could be considered acting out of anger, but that's tabi'i. You can expect that if somebody insults you. So understand, don't be extreme. What is considered normal anger, displaced anger, controlling anger, they're not the same. Like Aisha, the Prophet ﷺ never got upset except for the sake of Allah. Meaning because you infringed upon the deen. Prophet became angry. When he walked up, and him and Uthman walked up to Umar ibn al-Khattab. وَكَانَ يَقْرَأ النَّصْقَى مِنَ التَّوْرَاةِ. He was reading the copy of the Torah. What happened in the hadith? Anybody know the hadith?
No.
Okay, the Prophet was with Uthman ibn Affan. Walked up, and Farouk, or Umar ibn al-Khattab, was reading the copy of the Torah. It's the Jews, their book, not the Bible, the real Torah. What happened in that hadith?
The Prophet Muhammad became angry.
He told Allah, if you go with the Torah, if Musa was around, he'll follow me.
MashaAllah. لكن الشاهد من هذا الحديث, that person said he told لو كان موسى حيا لوسعتني أو في رواية لاتبعتني. Now, if Musa was alive, you have to follow me. لكن الاستدلال, the deal, the point that we trying to pull from this hadith is the subject matter of anger. So even though what he said is right, we're talking about the subject of anger. So what part matches? It is called istidlal. When you pull something to seek as a dalil. So what part shows that anger is not always blameworthy?
Because the Prophet became
He
angry.
became angry. So he said, "Omar, you stupid! What you doing?" What happened? How did how did he become angry? Huh? His face. Jazakumullah khair. He just looked at. You could see the anger sometimes on people's face. Sometimes the children get ready to do something, you just look at them. You don't say nothing. You say, "Oh man, Abby's upset." Then you stop. Sometimes, you look at your wife, she's upset. You look, "Oh wow, she's not too happy. What did I do?" Sometimes she look at you, "Oh, he's upset." Yeah. So that happened. The Prophet just looked at him, and then Uthman said, "Ya Umar, put that thing down. Don't you see the anger of the Prophet on his face?" Then the Prophet mentioned if Musa was alive, he wouldn't be following the Torah, he would be following what I brought, which is the Quran. He would be following my Sharia. So the anger is not always blameworthy. Wahid subhanallah, subhanabi. A person insults Allah, insults the Prophet. Whoever in Iman, it's from Iman to be upset with that. You disobey Allah. You insult Allah and the Messenger. You should be mad at yourself. Mm-hmm. How many times are we upset with others, but we're not upset at ourselves? Mm-hmm. We should be upset at ourselves. Man, how did I do that? I know it's a sin. I'm struggling. Allah. Cry, make tawbah, and try to be on your best behavior after that. But we don't do that. So anger is not always displaced. Wrong. Tayyib, shahwa. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا شَهْوَةٌ. May Allah protect us from desires. I mean, what is the shahwa in conclusion? Shahwa.
Follow
Desires. So I'm hungry, I go eat. That's follow shahwa.
No, rejecting the truth and following your desires, knowing that this is the truth. Committing a sin.
So following something that's wrong, and we know it's wrong. Disobeying Allah, and you know it's wrong. Doing something that you know Allah will punish you, but you say, "Man, I'm doing me. Man, listen, man, leave me alone, man. Listen, I'm good." Shahwa. Smoking cigarettes. Shahwa, they said shahwa. Drinking a beer. Shahwa, they said shahwa. Looking at porn. Shahwa, they said shahwa. Cussing, using profanity. Shahwa, they said shahwa. Qadiyafun, maybe not. Allah mentioned himar, mentioned kelp, dog, this, that, maybe. Like, no doubt, porn, shahwa. 100%. Stealing, shahwa, they said shahwa. Lying, shahwa, they said shahwa. Tricking people, shahwa, let's be shahwa. Being lazy without a real reason to be lazy. You work out, you work hard, you're tired, you get enough sleep, but you got all the sleep in the world. You got enough sleep, and you're just lazy from ibadah. But you can watch the game 5 hours and never yawn. You can watch a Bruce Lee movie and never get tired. As soon as it's time for ibadah, woo. Shahwa, let's be shahwa. Hey, it was. No, these real life issues, I think. Cat watching the boxing game, he ain't prayed Dhuhr, he ain't prayed Asr. This time of the year, Maghrib is coming in real quick. That's shahwa, I think. You watching the game, boxing match, it's shahwa. You know, but we do this. You know, stuff from Allah, the shahwa. And this, wallahi, keeps you from blossoming in your ibadah. It keeps you from remembering Allah. It keeps you from doing simple things of obedience. Small things of obedience become so difficult because of shahwa. And big things that normally you can attain are impossible as well. Yeah, small things, difficult. Allah Muslim. So these pillars of kufr are very important. Go over them. Don't treat it like, man, the Shaikh gave a nice talk. Put yourself in the frame of these things. Think about how you fit and how you can get out of that. What you can do to not be a person that has kibr, accept the truth. Even if it be against yourself, accept it. Don't be so worried about others. That you belittle people and you make their sins and they're so big, but you probably do the same thing worse. Don't want what you see somebody have. He's got a lot of money, but you don't know the sin behind that money. Has a pretty woman, but you don't know how that woman may have that man in the hellfire, or how he's oppressing that lady. Brother, don't always think everything is anger, 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 anger. Learn how to manage your anger. Learn how to cope with anger. Think about if you do something out of anger, it can change your whole life. In shahwa, be a person who lives to wake up to obey Allah. And don't obey Allah because He commanded you only. Obey Him because you want to please Him. That's the greater tasting of obeying Allah. Many people that pray say, well, because Allah commanded me. But what about the one who says, I'm praying to please Allah, to earn His pleasure, to make Him happy with me? So these are some of the benefits that we want to share. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's in the iman and kamil to give us and completed our iman, wa amal salih, righteous deeds, wa yakhfaf minna dhunubina, to make our sins less, wa yukifir and siyatina, and to forgive us for our shortcomings, and yudkhilna fi rahmatihi jalla wa ala fi al-akhirah, and to bless us to be from those who enter into the paradise in the end. هذا وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. I'm still hoping that maybe we'll eat, around 4. I don't know how to find out Hajia, what's going down. But so let's go talk about what you heard today. Anything from the lesson, bring what you benefit, what you understand. If you make some mistake, I'm not going to be hard on you. But we talked about pillars of Iman, pillars of Islam. We talked about Ta'rif al-Iman, the different meanings of Iman. We talked about deviant groups. We talked about conditions for these to be accepted. We talked about Nada and Kufr is different types. We talked about Shirk is different types, major and minor. We talked about the difference between major Kufr and major Shirk. Which one takes the Islam and the deeds away, and if you die, you go to hell forever, and which one doesn't take the Islam and doesn't take the deeds or the deeds away, and if you die, you're still a Muslim. And then we just talked about the pillars of disbelief and their effects, their downfall. So let's rock. Open the floor. for $1,000. Give me the whole dollar. Somebody memorize that thing and run that thing off. How they hand out for $1,000. What about for the Jannah? So who wants to give a shot? Give me a malachos, a general of everything you heard. Who think they can do it? In summary. I just ran it down for you. Say, yeah, but you're the Shaikh. I'm human like you. You can do it. Okay, you can't do it all. What about choose? Because of Iman, because of Kufr, run something. We've been sitting here for 2 days.
No.
Some people for 1 day. Fuck them.
I got a question.
No, no question. Run it. What can you run from? You benefiting.
Sure.
You talked about the 4 pillars of Kufr.
Uh-huh. 4 pillars of
And-
Kufr. 4 pillars of 5. Get your numbers right. 4 or 5. Don't nobody say that.
4?
Is it 4? You sure?
Yeah,
Okay, mashallah. Let me trick you. Okay, mashallah. 4. Alhamdulillah. Continue.
yeah. And basically, the character that ties in with belief and how strongly tied they are. Basically, the character and basically like your belief.
So pillars of Kufr are mentioned, he said 4, and how they're, although it's disbelief, they're tied into the opposite, your Iman. Very good. Somebody else.
Rashid,
And Talib, if you had a question, didn't forget you.
Rashid, shirk.
Sure,
I'm
mashallah.
talking about major and minor.
Shirk is major and minor, mashallah.
We say major shirk is it takes you out of Islam.
Major shirk takes you out of Islam.
Yeah, if you die upon it, you will stay in the hellfire.
If you die upon you, stay in the hellfire. And what does it do to your deeds?
It
Nullifies all your deeds. Jazakumullah khair. Very good.
Like minor sins.
Minor sin.
It doesn't nullify your deeds.
Minor shirk doesn't nullify your deeds or your deen, and
No, but it can. You say the ayat that Allah says in the Quran that Allah forgive all sins. Allah does not forgive that you associate partners with Him, but He forgive whatever is less than that. So that indicates that shirk. That He says that in this ayah it says it's nakira.
mashallah, mashallah.
That
It's general. It includes all types of shirk.
No,
Jazakumullah khair. Ahsanallah alayk. Wa nasallahu an yaksib laka ajran wafiran kabiran indahu jalla wa ala. So he summarized the lesson of shirk. See, this is what I'm talking about. And now, this is going to be something I guarantee he's going to go share with a friend, family. He said, I mentioned about shirk, that there's major and minor. Major shirk takes away your Islam, your deeds, and if you die on it, you're in the hellfire forever. Minor shirk doesn't take your Islam, doesn't nullify your deeds, and we're going to put in parentheses, except if you do something to show off, it nullifies that deed. But it doesn't nullify all of your deeds like the major shirk. And if you die upon it, you still go to Jannah. He said, and I mentioned from the ayah, Shaykh Islam Taymiyyah mentioned, Imam Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentioned that in the ayat shirk is general. So any type of shirk, Allah is not forgiven. Yeah. And on the day of judgment, the one who has minor shirk, which is still a major sin, it's a major sin, but it's minor as it relates to the shirk, then Allah will bring you. If you have more good deeds than bad deeds, then you won't go to the fire because of the major shirk. But if you have more bad deeds than good deeds, then you have to go to the fire because of the minor shirk, and you will come out if you have a mustard of iman. This is from the ayah, in Allah la yakra yushrak bih. The shirk is general in this ayah. The ulama said it includes all types of shirk. Allah will not forgive, and this is how the minor shirk is dealt with as it relates to not being forgiven, based upon how many good deeds and bad deeds you have on the day of judgment. May Allah bless to have more good deeds than bad deeds. Ameen.
Ameen.
And to avoid all types of shirk in his branches. Ameen.
Ameen.
Somebody else.
A sinner won't be allowed to obey Allah if she or he keeps repeating sins.
MashaAllah. Shab Dhahabiyya, the golden young man. MashaAllah. May Allah protect us from sin. Ameen. It's serious. A sinner won't be able to obey and remember Allah if they keep over and over doing the sin. And wallahi, we gotta look at this as a ummah type thing. As individuals, but as an ummah. When we look at this issue around the world, including in Philistine, Palestine, if the Muslims were doing what we're talking about, the Jews would never be able to do this to the Muslims. They would never even think about it. Because we'll be under the dhimma of Allah, we'll be under the protection of Allah. But they know. How many Muslims don't cover women? How many Muslims don't pray properly? How many Muslims don't pray at all? How many Muslims, getting high, drinking? How many selling haram? How many involved in this magic? They know. They right there around the world. Now stuff is Snapchat, Instagram, this, that. So we like expose ourselves. And then we say, oh man, we could do what we want with them. Because they don't have no protection of Allah. They doing shahwa. They know. They know. May Allah protect us and bring us back to what He commanded us. Ameen. It's real talk. And again, you should be looking at that in light of yourself first and then others. Take somebody else.
The pillars of Iman.
Pillars of Iman. All right, my man. Can I get an amen? Pillars of Iman. Amen. They rhyme. Amen. Amen. Pillars of Iman. Amen. Amen.
The 5 pillars of Iman.
Five pillars of Iman.
And the highest being La ilaha illallah. And the lowest being moving something out of the way harmful, which could be done either by a Muslim or a non-Muslim.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be considered Iman for the non-Muslim.
No.
It's just an act.
Just an act.
No. We just highlighted to show a Muslim can do something of Kufr and be a Muslim, just like the cow can do something from Islam and be a cow.
And still be a cow.
Yeah, and this keeps you from making, he ate pork, he's not a real Muslim. How you going to put him in the fire for eating the pork sandwich? Now, brothers, I'm not co-signing the pork. It's not the new halal white meat. It's not. But you got to be careful. We'll put a Muslim outside of Islam for a major sin, and you can't do that for most major sins. Some are particular, and that's not one of them. Tell you, very good. What about 6? Is it 5 or 6 pillars of Iman?
5. And the one that they consider to be 6 is the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, emphasizing mainly the belief in Allah and the unseen.
MashaAllah, tabarakallah. MashaAllah. He was here for both days. See, if I had my ijazah that was given out, he'd definitely be giving one of them. So that issue, somebody else explain it. Why did Allah mention 5 articles of Iman, but the Prophet mentioned 6? And if someone says 5, or they right. If somebody says 6, or they right or wrong?
No, they're right. If Allah mentioned 5 prophets.
No, the same people answering. Everybody else left. Somebody else.
Well, Shaikh, the Prophet ﷺ mentioned Shu'ab al-Iman. It could be like 68, 69 Shu'ab.
No, not in the Tikallam bi or huh?
That's what the brother is talking about, Shu'ab al-Iman.
لا نحن نتكلم بأركان الإيمان. أركان الإيمان يعني أنا أقول لو قال واحد أركان الإيمان 5 دون 6 وواحد قال لا 6 دون 5 هل كلامه صحيح أو غلط واحد؟ ولما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم سادس وما يعني قال عز وجل 6 من السادس في القرآن. شفت كيف؟ سمعني anybody? Going once, going twice.
We spoke about anger.
No. Pillars of Iman.
The Prophet Muhammad.
No, not you. I got some tape on my bag, but you're my elder. I can't take them out. I can tell you, take it easy, Shaikh. Somebody else. Come on now. Yeah, I got to make yourself real hungry so when the food comes, y'all can grub, man. Talk.
Said the 6th one was for the show the power of Allah, your belief system over Allah.
Okay, you close. Close. I give you 50%. You close, mashallah. Let's go. Tay. Okay. Somebody said over there in the court emphasis. Did I hear emphasis?
The last.
Not call it emphasis. Who said that? MashaAllah. What about who?
In the beginning, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, believe in the 5s. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the 6th one, Qadar, he said,
Yeah.
He had belief to it. He had belief to it in that showing the emphasis connected to believing Allah and all the other
نعم وإيمان بالقدر وقضاء يدخل في أي ماذا يدخل فيه إيمان بالله إيمان بالكتب
أن تؤمن بالله.
ما شاء الله بارك الله فيكم. So this we said yesterday. When we look at the ayah, the law mentions 5. إيمان بالله يوم الآخر والملائكة وكتبه وأنبياء المرسلين. هذا 5. But Salam mentioned those same 5 when Jibril asked them. He said أن تؤمن بالله. So believe in the malaikati wa kutubi wa rasul wa yawm al-akhir. The difference between the tartib of the hadith and the ayah, yawm al-akhir is mentioned second in the ayah, is mentioned fifth in the hadith. Now that's no problem. But the Prophet said, وَتُؤْمِنُوا بِالْقَدْرِ خَيْرِهِ شَرِهِ. So ulama said, the last one that we say is 6 really is inclusive in the 5. They believe in the qadr, the qada of Allah, the decree, the action, the power, the decision of Allah, really is not 6, but it's, if you mention the number of things that was mentioned, yes. But as it relates to Arkan al-Iman, it still becomes 5 because that's part of the first one, something that Allah did. And the Prophet only mentioned Tu'minu twice when he got to Qadr to emphasize the belief in that thing, not necessarily, oh, Allah forgot one, this is the 6th one, it's not mentioned in the Quran, Hasha lillah. We'll never do that because he's the Nabi. So if someone said there's 5, you say, okay, 5 pillars of Yani Iman. Somebody say 6, tell you, 5 pillars of Iman. But understand why the Prophet mentioned the 6th one, and that really is part of the first thing, belief in the actions and the things that Allah does. Qaddar Allah Azza wa Jal ma qaddara. Allah decides, He does what He wills, which is dakhilan fi iman billah. It is part of belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As the ulama explained in their dissertation, ومنهم محمد ابن عبد الوهاب الوصابي العبدلي اليماني وكذلك شيخ الفاضل محمد صالح العثيمين وكذا شيخنا الإمام العلامة سالم التأويل من الكويت. They all mentioned this. Now, last thing but not least, tell me about Ta'rif al-Iman, belief, the term Iman. You mentioned that. Very important. What is Iman according to Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah? Well, I'm a believer, but it's Iman.
Yes, Shaikh. The scholars say that it's a statement from the tongue, belief in the heart, and actions with the limb.
MashaAllah. Is he right or wrong?
He's right.
Give me an example of statement on the tongue. Not you. La ilaha illallah. Tayyib. What about astaghfirullah? Is that a statement on the tongue?
No.
It's not a statement on the tongue?
No.
Astaghfirullah.
No.
So I'm saying it in my ear. Statement on the tongue is something you say with the tongue. Astaghfirullah. That's na'un. You hear that?
No.
So it's on my tongue?
Yes.
Okay, statement on the tongue. La ilaha anta. There's no deity but you. Statement on the tongue. Allahu musta'an. Allah is the one you depend on. Statement on the tongue. Allahumma khfirli. Oh Allah forgive me. Statement on the tongue. Cool, have that statement on the tongue. All this statement on the tongue. Tabu iman. Like an a'lahum, but the highest of any of them, La ilaha illallah. No. Understand that? Subhan Rabbil A'la and sujood. Statement on the tongue. Subhan Rabbil Azim. Statement on the tongue. Qiraat al-Fatiha. Statement on the tongue. Ayyishim in the Quran. Statement on the tongue. Hadith al-Sahih in the Nabi. Statement on the tongue. You sure?
No.
Qawl Ashab. Statement on the tongue. Sahaba statement. You're silent. Statement of the Sahaba. Is that something on the tongue?
I think it's a statement of the tongue, but it's just a statement.
Is it a statement of the tongue?
Yes. Yes. But it's a
La
testimony.
la 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 la. You're about to step in the hole. Is it statement on the tongue? Is where you stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Statement on the tongue.
No.
Anything you say, statement of the tongue.
Yes.
Yes.
If you say shaitan mu'min, shaitan is a mu'min. That's a statement on the tongue.
It's a statement, yes. It's a
Hey,
statement on the tongue.
Fir'aun mu'min. Fir'aun is a believer. Statement on the tongue.
Yes, it's a statement on the tongue.
Abi Lahab fi Jannah. Abi Lahab is in the Jannah. Statement on the tongue.
Statement of the tongue.
That could have the batil, all that's false, so the statement on the tongue.
No.
Aywa. Barakallahu fikum. Nah, sahih. So statement on the tongue, the Prophet said, an iman. So that's the thing we're talking about. But statement on the tongue is general. Anything you say, statement on the tongue. Any statement of the tongue of iman, anything from the religion. Astaghfirullah, la ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. Lakin a'la hold the top statement on the tongue from iman, la ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. Very important to understand that. Very important. This is how you're going to be successful in the grave. You're never be successful in the grave. You read something and say, yeah, in my grave I got it. La, la, la. What you understand in your heart, what you practice, that's by the tawfiq of Allah. If Allah give you permission, that's why you want to answer correctly in the grave. You got to get this right while you're alive. You can't die like this miskeen, as we said yesterday. Nah. Now you can miskeen into deen. Don't be poor in the religion. We have all the time devices, internet, hot spots. Why? Let's get this right. And you guys, Allah, your people have intelligence, great intelligence. Lakin ijtahad fi khair. But work hard in the good. What's the inna billah wa Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tawfiq, and ask Allah to help and facilitate for you that. Ameen. Don't waste your time. This stuff you should be going over. Especially if you're 50, 60, 70. You're in the third, fourth quarter, man. You can't die watching the fight. It's like yesterday. Somebody had the almost died. You can't say nothing all the time. We do all of this ilm and ta'aleem, and somebody start talking about the game, and if I was a linebacker, are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? Like, really? Allah musta'an. Allah musta'an. La yafham Shaikh, didn't understand anything. All that later, and then as soon as we finish the football, and Allah musta'an. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. So, that's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wa faqana bi khair. Inshallah tabarak wa ta'ala. Any questions? And we're waiting for the Hajia. I think she's bringing setting up, so. Hey, any questions? Todd, if you had a question.
Yeah, making a statement at this time of the year to the non-Muslim in terms of their holiday, happy holiday. A Muslim doing that places them where?
What state you want to be in? What country you want to be in? Places them where?
In terms of, Kufr.
Kufr, mashallah, barakallahu fiqh. See? And I heard somebody whisper Aqidah, but see, you said Kufr. That means you trying to keep it relevant to the dars. This is what we're talking about, the psychology. It's also Aqidah, but the term Kufr is what we're looking for. Because you're going to put this in your Rolex as it relates to the sick. What's the topic? The pillars of what? Iman, and the pillars of? Kufr. Our pillars of Islam. We mentioned pillars of Islam because it's part of the Iman, but the title, Pillars of Kufr, is downfalls, its effects, and the pillars of Iman is fruits and its benefits. So, firstly, we got to understand, we said, the language of the Quran. And we also have to understand the role of the alim to bring out these things that the normal person can't see. So, Allah Azza wa Jalla, we mentioned, إِذَا حَيِّيتُمْ بِتَحِيَّةٍ فَأَحْيُوا أَحْسَنِ مِنْهَا أَوْ رُدُّوهَا in Surah An-Nisa. When you greet it with a greeting. The ulama, they said at the beginning, people say, Hayat Allah. That's a greeting. Then, Ja Islam, وَيُبَدِّلُ Allah Azza wa Jalla Hayat Allah bi Assalamu Alaikum. So this is greeting. Assalamu alaikum, greeting. Ahlan wa sahlan is a greeting. If we take ahlan and sahlan and break them up, they have a different meaning. Ahlan, someone who's worthy, or someone who's part of a people, or someone who's deserving. And sahlan, something easy, something laid back. If you put them together, ahlan wa sahlan, it means marhaban, welcome. This terminology. So here, the greeting is general. Meaning ulama, they said the greeting is general. So much so there's some narrations that ulama they use and talk about this. They talk about salams and these things. But many ulama, they said if someone says to you good morning, you have to at least by this ayat say back to them good morning. If someone says to you, how you doing? They say by this ayat, you have to say back to them, how you doing? Someone say to you, Salaam alaikum. Many say you have to say back to them, wa alaikum. So don't ask him, are you Muslim? If he gave you salams, meaning ulama say, based on this ayah, you have to say wa alaikum. Some say you could say alaikum, but some say you could say wa alaikum salam. Just what he says back to you. There's some restrictions, ulama hadith mentioned, but they talk like this. Likewise, we heard some contemporaries say, now whether we agree or not, that's another issue. But the concept, some of them said, if they say you happy holiday, you could say the same to you. But what holiday? You don't mean necessarily it's okay for them to say Santa Claus is coming to town and Jesus Christ, but you return in the greeting. If they say to you, good morning, you said you say back to them, good morning. You know what I mean? If they say, have a good day, you say the same to you. So some ulama, they said that. Now others would say no, because this is kufr. But you do have some scholars that say, Fima Pardon, say back to them the same that they said to you. When Prophet was those Yahoo, they said, Samu alaikum. Sam, like Sam's Club. Right. And Salam. You hear the lam, the L, Salam, and you hear no L, no lam, Sam. Sam I am. Green eggs and ham. Remember those books? Mm-hmm. Anybody who grew up in America, you know those books. Mm-hmm. Sam. Sam in Arabic means poison. Death be to you by poison. So they walked past the prophet and they thought they can say in a slick way something that he would think they say in Salam is Salam alaikum. Sometimes we hear the people say, Sa alaikum. They're trying to say Salam alaikum. In America, they say that. Sam alaikum. Aisha started to curse them. And you be pigs and swines. Prophet said, yeah, Aisha, mahlan, mahlan. He said, take it easy. He said, what I'm going to say is going to be answered. He said back to them, alaikum. Death be to you too. Now, is it proper to say death to be to somebody? Also not. That's rude. It's not right. But you get the idea what somebody say to you, and that's based on the ayah. You can say back to them. Somebody say, your mama's a dog. You say, your mama's a dog. I say, wow, you said, talk like that. Now talk like that. I say, I'll punch you in your face. I'll punch you in your face. I say, F. You say, F you. I say, wow, that's against Islam. But if you working by what somebody say to you, you can say the same back to them. You have a hunch. Now, whether somebody agree or not, or bring a stronger effort, but there's a premise for that in the religion. So, am I going to say to somebody, if they say, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, I'm going to say, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you too? No. But I might say, okay, same to you.
Thank you.
Or they might say, Happy Holiday. I say, thank you, same to you. Well, what holiday? We talk in general. But I might not feel comfortable saying, Merry Christmas to you too. Okay, I might feel that's too kufr. Ho, ho, ho to you. Ho, ho, ho back to you. I'm not going to do all that. But I owe them something. I can say, God bless you. God will make you safe. Take care. You got to give something back. You can't say, man, that Catholic, man, I ain't with that. Man, she said, Merry Christmas. She was fine like that, but she said that. I said something back. I said, ha. You see, so, تشتت على الناس بهذه المسائل لكن يعني افهم جيد. Don't fight and be down with people. Understand. And if someone say something, you have a text, leave them. Don't make a big issue, especially if you know that person's going to argue this and that. But you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
But means we're about to fight. I ain't no punk.
No.
I can't see, but I can still get down. That means you up to something. Huh? The man was supposed to talk about this stuff with Allah. Hold on.
Oh, so I'll take back the butt.
Allah, you better people.
Amen.
So the Muslim ought not to be the one doing the initiating the greeting. In that case.
No doubt, the Muslim shouldn't agree. If initiated, that's a whole other issue.
No.
What the Muslim doing saying to somebody, Merry Christmas, come on, ain't try that. We said when you greet with something, return it.
No.
That's a whole other aqidah.
No.
Merry Christmas, Sue, take care, like your juice. هذا كفرية. That's clear kufr. هذا clear kufr. Happy birthday. Mother's Day, Happy Mother's Day, Happy Father's Day, Happy Valentine's Day, Happy 4th of July, Happy Memorial Day, Happy Labor Day, Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. School will have different nafs wahid, all of them in one category. Because you're initiating something that's not from the deen of Allah. وماذا تتقي and what you believe. لكن في مقابل, but return it's something different. من باب أدب ومن باب خفف يعني ضرر وفتنة ومشاكل, whether to keep stuff down. Now, if you forced it, you think your life is on the line, then yeah, as long as you have a man in your chest. But nobody walking around with Santa Claus like a hat, talking about Merry Christmas and he's afraid for his life. He's enjoying that stuff. You know, you have some Muslims, that's what they do. They believe we're in America, this is American culture. Allah Musta'an. Some African Americans may struggle with it. It's not just the foreigners. Birthdays, Thanksgiving, it's a fitna. We grew up with that stuff. Don't think every Muslim is detached from those things. It's difficult. Allah help us. Ameen.
I have a question.
Nah.
The statement of if. Like, you understand? Like,
if was a fifth, we all be drunk, then if?
That type of if, yes.
Yeah.
With that statement, what does that fall as far as shirk and acts of Kufr and things like that?
Barakallahu feekum. This is one of the best questions I heard from you, man. May Allah bless you. Now that shows a man that's on the ball. May Allah bless you. Appreciate you. I mean.
Wow.
Yani low in Arabic. L-O-W, low. In Arabic, low means should I have. You have it two ways. Just simply low, translated if, is not blameworthy. But if low, if translated in English, is talking about the decree of Allah being changed or different, then it could be blameworthy. For example, if something happened, like Allah mentioned in the Quran, and the people said, Lola kunna ma'hum, if we were not with them, no, Lola, yani, Lola, yani, كانوا معهم كان ما كان يعني قتلهم إلى يعني هكذا. If they were not with them, they would have never been killed. كل نفس ذائقة الموت. Every soul got to taste death. Allah Azza wa Jalla mentioned يعني كل نفس ذائقة الموت. قال الله عز وجل يعني Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala وين عبد الكبير؟ طيب صعب أينما تكونوا يدرككم الموت ولو كنتم في بروج مشيدة. نعم, Allah Azza wa Jalla mentioned wherever you are, when it's your time, death is going to reach you, even if you will be on the farthest planet. So you know these people that get in the space shuttle that claim the day of judgment come, they can hurry up and go to the moon to escape. Elijah just said, wherever you are, when it's time for you to die, the soul is coming out. You won't escape. So, if a person is saying in that regard, low if, then this is kufr. But, if that person is saying, lo la li, lo la lillahi, thumma li, ma dakhala hadha walad fil Islam. Per se, if it wasn't for Allah, then me, that boy would have accepted Islam. If a Salam told a Jewish boy on his deathbed, la ilaha illallah. He looked at his father said, obey the Prophet. He accepted Islam. And the Prophet said, alhamdulillah, ladhi, anqadhu min al-nar, alhamdulillah, ladhi, anqadhu min al-nar, there's another part, I forget the hadith. But Prophet said, praise be to Allah who used me to save that boy from the fire. So if the Prophet said, if it wasn't for Allah, then me, or if he said, if it wasn't for me, or if I had not gave him shahada, he would have died a kafir, that's true. Because it's something that already took place. That's sealed in the qatr. But if you're saying something that already took place, would it change that? So it depends. Prophet he said, احرصوا على ما ينفعك. Be diligent, be eager towards what will benefit you, and seek Allah's assistance in that. And then the Prophet he said, ولا تعجل ولا تعجل ها ولا تعجز. And don't make yourself incapable. He said, ولا تقول لو فعلت كذا وكذا وكذا. And don't say, had I did this, had I did that, because the Prophet talking about being incapable. So sometimes people say, see, that didn't happen to me because if I would have did this and that, they're making excuses. Then the Prophet he said, لأن الله يفتتح أبواب الشيطان. Because that type of if, it opens the door to shaitan. He's making you make excuses, making you lazy. So that one the Prophet's telling you don't do it. Yeah, making you lazy. You know what I'm saying? Like the brother said, man, if I would have went to work, man, it's a fitna. I'd rather stay home, too many women. Yeah, go to work. Many brothers said that. I'm not working my wife work because women are fitna. I'm going to just stay in and read book. I'm going to talk about it. If I go to work, it's going to be a fitna. That's what we should talk. Man got to work. How are you a man and your wife paying the rent, the lights, the gas, and you just eat and sleep and tell me, where my food? Yeah, wallahi, when her brother saying that, I'm looking it up. He's sitting in the meshie all day reading books. I think, what's up? You laid off? No, I ain't working off. It's a fitness, If I'm going to work, I'm going to fall into something. Are you serious? I'm going to talk about it. Now, you kidding me? That no if is from the shaitan. If that's the case, nobody would work because he's scared of fitna of money. Allah most time. So it depends. If you're using if to say that would have changed the decree of Allah, Prophet used to say, "Waqini shahra ma qadayt." Save me from the evil that's already been decreed for me. But again, whatever. It's written for you. Ulama said, MashaAllah can. Whatever Allah decreed, it will happen. Whatever Allah didn't will, it will not happen to you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah knows best. We're going to pray Maghrib and then Shaikh. We're going to be ready. What do you want us to do? Okay, it's quick. She says she's ready now. Now wait a minute. Don't start fighting. You know, brother. So we want, let Imam Anwar tell the people what to do. The visitors, this and that. But again, we want to make sure after you eat and everybody get their food, take the food with you. You have containers. Don't leave nothing. Because last night, we were cleaning up till almost 10 o'clock at night. Came down here, man, it was still this, yams, this. Said, man, they left all this food. So, now don't take it all in one platter either. Save some for the brothers and the sisters, but you know. So, you want the sisters to get theirs first or they got theirs already? Okay, so let the sisters come first. Sisters, come now. Don't take forever. And brothers, hold your horses. Imam Anwar can tell who's going to go first or second. And then... So listen, we're going to do this like last time, brothers and sisters. The Prophet said, La salat and al-hadrat al-ta'am. There's no salat, listen brothers, there's no salat to be prayed when the food is present. Is the food present? No. So that means we can't pray, your mind going to be on food. So we want to pray. Maghrib is going to come in about 4:30. We want to eat and we'll pray Maghrib maybe about 5:15, no later than 5:30 with the cleanup. That's the tail in the Maghrib because Isha comes in what time? About 5:52. Yeah. So we'll do that, and then right after we finish the Maghrib, the Isha will be coming in. We'll pray Isha, and people can hit the road. That sound good? Okay, and we're going to make sure we put something on the floor and all of that. So, but again, any tips or donations go to the Hajia, the Shaikh. The brothers can give that. I have nothing to do with that. I don't take any cut from that. You can give it straight to her, or you can give it to Imam Anwar or me, but she's right there. Sister Aziza, Sheikh Hajia, the chef, not the cook. Don't go give them no $1.25. That's IHUB money. You got to get chef money. You know what I'm saying? Gourmet. And make dua for us, make dua for her, and we thank you for the travels, we benefit. جزاكم الله خيرا. هذا بس صدق على نبينا محمد وعلى صاحب الصدق تسليما كثيرا.